Hello, and glad to have you here today. Today, we're going to be talking about networking and how important is that in building and growing your business. Using social media without being spammy or sleazy or salesy, however you want to look at it. I just know how I felt when I was doing it, and I had no real plan. I was going off of what I was told to do. And it was just, let me put my little notes here. It was just so frustrating. And I thought, I have to find a better way because not only was it frustrating, I was having to leave my kids at home and they were still, young enough that they needed guidance. And it was just, I just got to where I couldn't take it. So that's, and I'm bringing this one to you today about networking because it's something that I have a challenge with. And I wonder about you and what you're thinking about that. What do you think when you hear or someone's talking about networking? What comes to mind? And while you're thinking about that and you're hopping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Let me know what you're thinking about this. And hopefully, I can answer some questions. Networking is a really broad topic. So I wanted to keep it just where we are in our business building and how it helps us to be able to do that. And it's if you don't have a network, you don't have a business because you need a network of people that you want to serve, that you want to help. And, it turns out to be a mutual type relationship. So basically, I'm going to let you guys mull that over while you're coming on. In between time, and this one it might be a little bit longer today than my normal because I have a lot of things to cover. But let me go on and introduce myself. So, for those of you that I haven't been able to meet, that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Cherie Woodard, and I help business builders and entrepreneurs to be able to come online, use social media to get prospects, leads, and sales in their business. And that's very important to us. And I use a variety of ways to help with that. I use attraction marketing formula. I use lead generation as well as video marketing. There's so much out there, that can help us. And if we take advantage of it, it'll help us stand out from the crowd. And then I also use whatever modern updated strategies that are trending to also help give you an edge and help you to stand out from the crowd. Because I can remember when there was hardly anybody online doing this, and it was kind of shunned being online, but that's changed, and now everybody's online given the stuff that we've been walking through over the last couple of years or so. So let me get to my notes here. Let me just try to stay on track because this is, like I said, this is going to be a little bit longer and give you more information and hopefully help you and me as we walk through this together in networking. Because I asked you the question of what did you think or what would you think when you hear networking? A lot of people just think of sales and people that are just out there to get them and that kind of stuff, but it's not really what it is. The other thing that I want to tell you, and I want you to think about this now and think about it when we're done, because it's a saying, it's a quote, and it's your net worth is your net worth. Now, I know when I heard that, I had to hear it again. It took me a bit to get, and finally I just wrote it down so that I could, get it in my head. And it's basically if you have no network, no followers, You know people that you've talked to and, built relationships with. If you have no one following you, if you have no network, then your net worth is basically non-existent because you don't have anyone listening to you. You may be doing all the things, but and this is something that I had a hard time learning, so hopefully it won't be as hard for you. But I just was so wanting to get out of what I was doing when I was building old school, which for me meant the list of 100, the bugging my family and friends. My warm market was gone within a week. It, just and the thought of leaving my kids at home again and again and again to go to these home parties and private business seminars and that type of thing, it just got frustrating. It was just one of those things where I just really didn't like doing it. And I've been doing this off and on for a little over 20 years now. But I am by trade a registered nurse. So when I decided to have a side gig, to help bring in what I needed to take care of my family, I'm like, okay, sure, I'll try this. Yeah, so and every time I try it, something would happen. The first one time was unfortunately a scheme. And I didn't really get caught up in it because I was still kind of on the outskirts trying to learn what it was that they were saying do, which was the same thing that they tell you do. Go out and talk to people. Everybody wants what you have and that kind of thing. But just think about that. Your network is your net worth. And then think about it after we go through this today. So, and the other thing that I want to say, this is something that one of my mentors, Helen Martin, always says, and that's be a human before a marketer. So that's the other important thing here. So first of all, I gotta look at my notes because, like I said, I have like a few bullet points and my heading, and then I just talk from there. But I had a lot that I wanted to try to cover and get in so that you would be able to have information that you needed to think about this and to really get out there and go get it going. What is it? One of our leaders says, "Go get you some," or "Let's go get some," or whatever. But anyway, so how do you? No, that's the one I already asked. How do you see networking? And I'm not sending anything in the chat, but I really would like to know what you think. Um, I don't think that I really heard that except for as a part of a title of what I was doing, but I didn't quite understand what it meant. I was really naive and really, not really doing much in the way of research of this. I figured, the people that were my upline or my people that were over me, my upper level team members and my as well as my leaders, I thought, okay, they know, and their presentation was awesome, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, this could. Anyway, so first of all, in getting started, I just want to talk about a couple of things. Well, it's more than a couple, but a few things that I just kind of had put down when I was first writing this out. And I put down what, who, how, why, and where. And that's how I first approached networking and how it could help you. And so it's always good for me and it helps me to start off with a definition. So the definition of networking is people interacting with each other, and I'm kind of reading a little bit here. So it's people interacting together with each other with a common goal, a mutual goal, if you will, something that's going to be beneficial for both parties, that are doing the networking. Like the one person may be doing the networking, especially since we're online now. It's not like you're going to be going into a place and into a party and it's all types of people there that you could talk to and learn about and go from there. But now most of us are online still, and it's really getting crowded, and it's really hard to get around and stand out. And so people, because a lot of people are doing the same things, and so then people are at, they need something that's going to draw their attention, that's going to attract them to you. So when you're looking for, or you're doing this interacting with people, you want to be trying to make connections with people. You want to um, see if they align with you. And the only way you can do that is by actually really talking to someone, and I talk to people in my lives. I talk to people on Messenger. I talk to people in, other things that I use. And I have that further down the list. So I'm going to stay out of that until I get to it. But it's important to talk to people and to allow them to talk and and go from there. So what I have here first after my who, what, I mean my what, who, how, why, and where, and I just wrote a couple of notes. So like I said, it's important to, as you're developing relationships and making connections and you're talking to people, you want to find out, mostly, I mean, do you want to be around, let me ask this way, do you want to be around people that are not like you, that don't have anything in common with you, that you wish that when you see them, not so much see them coming, but you're online or you're in a meeting or something like that, and you're like, oh, you don't want to be like that. So you want to pick people, you want to choose people to that you want to get involved with and make more of a connection and get in a conversation and get to a relationship. You want to be able to do that by speaking to people, talking to them, letting them talk, and being able to assess whether they align with your values, whether they align with the way you like to have fun. Some people, like hanging out on the couch and watching movies and reading books. And there are some people that like to be out and about and busy and moving around and going to stores and checking things out. And people are out now. A lot of people are out, a lot of people are wearing masks, but there's a whole lot more that aren't. So it's still in flux right now, I think. But people are, how are you going to get to know them if you don't talk to them? And you can talk to them online and you can learn about them. I mean, I've learned about, I usually go to people's personal profile and I take a look and somebody that I might think that I could be interested in if they're doing, similar to what I'm doing. I made a friend the other day with someone who is a nurse, has children, and of course, my children are older. But as she was speaking in her story, it touched me because it was talking about something that I had gone through and how she just had to find a better way because she was missing her kids growing up and missing family functions and whatever and stuff. And and as nurses, I could understand that. I can understand what it's like when you can't be off for a holiday. I can understand what it's like to work night shift and come home half dead and tired. You got to get the kids to school if they're in school. If they're not, and they're younger, then, how do you take care of them when you're, working nights? I use daycare, but, and I really didn't want to, but that I really didn't have a choice. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit too deep in other things. But I did end up making a friend. We ended up connecting and talking, and we're gonna talk again. And I like that way. But when I first thought about it, all I could see was what I had already been through. Talk to everybody and anybody, push on them, whatever my product or service was, because everybody wants what I have. And I learned the hard way that that was not true. So for me, it and when they said networking and that's going out talking to people, all I could think of was that's prospecting. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to chase people. I don't want to, be sleazy. I don't want to be spammy, like pushing people, into stuff. And, I just don't want to do that. I didn't like it then. I wasn't successful with it then. And I didn't want to do it again. So when I came into this educational company that I'm in, this mentorship company, I went whole hog into ads. And I would, I could talk to the people that had, commented on my ad. That was no problem. And I really had no problem talking with people at all. It's one of those things where my mom, my brother, and we don't meet any strangers. But when I had to go and know that I had something in my back pocket that I was gonna spring on them, it just didn't feel good. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel honest. It didn't feel like me. So in networking, it's totally different. Networking is, like I said, it's where there's going to be a mutual benefit. It's where you're interacting with people and people online using social media. So let's go to the next part here. Who is the people that you want to help in your business? Those people that you want to um, lift up, and because of what you've been through, that those people that you really want to help, those people you want to serve. So that's my who. How? Making connections, which we've talked about a little bit already. And the something I have under making connections, which I don't know, I think I did say this, but it's important to really listen and give people time to say what it is that they are saying, so that you can really hear what it is that they're saying, because some people are very surface level because they don't want anyone to know what's going on with them, or how bad things may be or how good things may be or whatever, so they just kind of stay surface level. But when someone is really sharing, it's really important to really listen and be able to um then take it from there and then continue on with either questions or comments or whatever. But allowing people to speak is really, really important. And then the why, which is basically to grow your network so that you have a net worth, so that you're actually building your business. And the where is business groups. You could use, there are groups that have, like, some people like to make quilts. Some people like to make crochet or whatever. I don't know how to do that kind of stuff. But I did find other things, that other groups that I wanted to be a part of, because they had things that I was interested in. So, and that's what you can do as well. So that's my where am I? What, who, how, why, and where. Now, in getting started, you want to be able to start off with goals. How are you going to do it? Because if you don't, and I know this from experience, if you don't have a goal of how you're going to do this, then you won't do it. If you make sure that you have a goal, and then from that goal, you build a plan of how you're going to, meet people and network. And then you have action steps that you need to take to get going, to get started, get moving. And then after that, taking that action, you want to evaluate, how did that work out? Are there things that you could change to make it better? What didn't work about it? What did work about it? And like I said, what might you change? And so it's important to evaluate and check out how things went, with your plan. I mean, you don't have to throw out the baby with the bathwater, so you can keep the goal, but you may just want to alter your plan. If that didn't work, you can, there are other things that you can do. Now, when let's see here, let me go down here. The other thing is, and this is something that I didn't really think about either initially in the beginning. And I mean, I was dragging my feet on this. And then the only reason I guess that I started really looking into networking was because I kept hearing it over and over. You have to network. If you don't build a network, then you don't have, a following. And if you don't have a following, you don't have anybody to talk to. So, it's like being back out there where I was. But I couldn't see it in the beginning. I just couldn't see it. It was stressful for me. And I had to really fight the fear that had creeped in and made me think, this is just like what you were doing before. And it's not. It's me helping the people that I want to help. And that's really important. So I've got down here some skills that you need to be aware of, and that you need to that I and I'm sorry, I'm need telling you need to. These are things that I suggest that you do. And I've done my research. I've, got 2 pages of information here. And I just want to make sure that you understand that you have options. And I'm one of those Google people. I'll go to Google and I'll research stuff and pull out things here and there. Plus, the things that I'm learning in the organization or in the company that I'm in, I, just pulled out information that I thought would be helpful to you. And one of those things is skills. Skills are important, and that's not something that I was taught before. I came online and found this company that I'm in, which really, I'm so happy to be here and be learning and growing. I mean, other than that, I wouldn't be doing my own live. I wouldn't be talking to people about things that I feel are important to help them in building their businesses and doing it with social media. I wouldn't have any idea I would still be out there and not getting anywhere. So when we're talking about skills, it's important to remember, you are what draws people. You are what's going to attract people, but only if you do things to help yourself stand out from the crowd. So that is a skill that you need to develop with different things, that I suggest you develop with different things. I'm sorry, I got the need thing going here. I don't know what's the deal, but it's, I just want to make sure that you understand that these are some suggestions. I'm not ordering or pushing anybody into anything. You have to make up your mind on what you want to do. And and it's took me, I won't even say, I don't even know how long it's taken that I've heard network, you need to build your network. I can't even tell you how long it took me to finally get what that meant. Your network is your net worth. And so I am out for growing my network, being helpful to those people that I want to serve, and keep it moving. So I want to be authentically who I am so that people know. And that's why I like doing lives, because people can see who I am. They can hear my voice. They can, either, you know, like me or not, and that's okay, because I only want people coming that want what it is that I have, and that is being able to help them to use social media to get prospects, leads, and sales in their business, and be able to do that. And you know, other than that, why come? If I don't want anyone who doesn't want to be with me, who doesn't like my personality, who doesn't like, I'm a little animated. I used to be really animated, and so I guess getting a little older makes you slow down a little. But yeah, I used to be really animated, and so some people might find that distasteful. And, but others might find it, she's got some quirks, but it's not a problem. I don't have a problem with that. I like her. I like the way she speaks. I like what she's telling me. I like that she's sharing information and not asking for anything in return. So it's important to be you. The other thing that I have here is it's important to be consistent. So, and there are so many things to be consistent with, and I will go over there. I have them in another section. So we'll talk about that. But I'm sorry, keep having this pain in my back up there. It's like something sticks me, and then I got to grab it. Anyway, but yeah, being consistent, letting people know that they can count on you, letting people know that you are really going to, be there. Like today, I was a few minutes late. I had some issues, been having some problems with my computer, but excuses are like buttholes. Everybody has one. So, I don't like to really give excuses. I like to just say, I'm sorry, I'm here, let's get into it, and, whatever. And, and, and keep it moving. So being consistent is really, really important. If you're going to do something, do it and continue to do it. As you continue to do it, you're also evaluating, right? So you're checking it out, what worked, what didn't work, and what might I do differently. And I mean, when I actually sit down with a mentor and have a strategy session, those are some of the things that I'm asked. And I've just gotten used to doing it that way. I like being able to evaluate what it is that I'm doing and make sure that it's working, or if it's not, and if it's not, what what do I need to do differently? And so that's that. And then the other one is, it's important. So if you're online, and which most people are, and I'm gonna drink a little water here, but when you're online using social media, are you going to take the initiative to find what groups that you might like to be in, what varied interests you have? Like for me, I have a couple of nursing groups that I like. I have a couple of business building groups that I like going into and sharing information, and and also receiving information from people in the group. and being able to say, I really do agree with that. Thank you. That's another way to look at this, and that really helps. So appreciate your sharing. And it's okay to compliment people as long as it is authentic. It's not a good thing to just, um, for me, it's not a good thing to just think of stuff and just put it out there. And it's not a good thing. That's not what I learned. And that's not, sorry, that's not what I learned. And I don't like being dishonest. If I'm going to say something, I want to say it and be forthright and, being able to just speak the truth. If I like something, then I say it. If I don't, I do like my mom said, and I don't well, I won't say I don't say anything because sometimes, people just might be a little bit off. Or I would say, well, in my opinion, this is what I see, and this is how I do it, and this is how I was taught. And I really like being able to be open and honest and not pushing my products and stuff, that kind of thing. So, and I think that's okay to do. I think we're all adults, as we're building our businesses, and we just need to be able to, be honest and upfront. Not that we want to go through bashing people and knocking people down and that kind of stuff, on as you could do online, which you really can't. But being nasty, there are some people out there that are really nasty, and I don't want to be one of those people. I want to be me, and I want to be able to take the initiative to start talking to someone and to want to get to know them. And hopefully, I'll be able to talk. I mean, there are people that I've talked to in Messenger, and we've just become friends. We haven't really, gotten together because maybe it wasn't my thing, wasn't what they needed, but they liked me as a person, and I like them as a person. And it's okay to have people that are in different, companies than you are. It's important that we lift each other up and lift this profession up, which is another thing that I've heard my leaders say, my mentors as well. It's so important to me that one day we'll be able to use the actual name of my profession now, and not have to be concerned about having issues with it on the platforms that I'm on. But there are platforms that you cannot say the name of what the profession is. So that's why I call it business building. Um, the other thing, when you're talking to people and you're, complimenting or talking, or you want to also be able to use open-ended questions, and that's another skill that you need, that I suggest that you learn, because being able to and it's so hard when you're a talker, to shut up. But it's important for me to shut up and let the other person speak, because that's how you really get to know them. That's how you really learn them, and you're able to be able to let them see you and let them hear you and let them see you hearing them. And, people can tell if you're faking. They really can. And I don't want to be a fake. I want to be authentically who I am. And if there's something that, that I really don't like, then I go somewhere else. You know, I why stay in a place where I don't like it? So that's why I love being able to choose groups that I can go into, um and if I find that eventually maybe that group isn't aligning with me, then I can find another one. And like I said, it could be business related or interest related. Things that you like to do. One group that I joined was a group about singing, when you're older, because your voice changes and just gets deeper. Like my voice has gotten a lot deeper than it ever was. But, it's a group that I liked being in. And, you never know when you're in a certain place and someone's having an issue and they bring it out and say, has anyone ever had this or know what to do to help this, whatever it is, you know, then you can speak up honestly and authentically and say yes or no, or yeah, I might have something, I've had that problem in the past, and I think I might have something that might help you, we can talk, about it, a little later or something like that. And that's when I like to go into Messenger, so that that person's business isn't being all, put all through the group, and then if I don't have what they need, then that's okay too. I still hope good things for them, good thoughts, and lift them up. The other thing, which I think I've already said, is complimenting people. Be honest in complimenting. Be, authentic, and don't tell someone something that's not true just because you want them to start talking to you so that you can, you know, um, put push your pitch people or push your products or services on them. I don't like that, and I don't think that's honest, and I don't want to do that. And then I have the last thing of this list of skills is follow up. Like there are people that I've met and when I meet people online, then if I want to friend them, then I'll do a friend request or whatever. And then I'll say, hi, my name is such and such. And, I just noticed such and such and such. And it seems like we have a few things in common, like the person that I met the other day. You know, our kids, she was suffering, going through the things she was going through, getting sick a lot, and she's a nurse. And so, yeah, we're looking forward to having a conversation with each other. And yeah, that's important. So follow up. You want to make sure that if you when you meet people, you want to go back and say, hey, how's it going? Whatever. But a lot of people, I think, tend to forget, me included. And but as I continue to grow in this business setting, because I had no business, no marketing, nothing like that. I was a registered nurse, and even though I did the, off and on for over 20 years of business building, I whenever things weren't working, which they didn't most time, then I would just drop it and go back and just work a lot of overtime or take people's call or whatever. So there we go with that. So follow up is important. It's always a good thing to check back with people and just see how things are going. Um, yeah, it's important to do that. People can be watching you for a while, and you may not know that, but you may happen to decide that, when you read their profile or when you see them first, attraction. And then when you look at their personal profile, either more attraction or not, and then you make a decision on if you want to friend that person or not, or if they're asking, sending you a friend request, the same thing. You make that decision whether to move forward with it or not. But it's always a good thing to follow up. Very important. Because people, get busy. And this is something that my mentor says all the time. One of my mentors, she says, somebody might be really busy. They said they will get back with you or they would love to have a conversation with you, but they don't. Don't just leave it, just eventually go back and check and say, hey, just checking to see how you're doing. And then they may say, oh, yeah, I've been really, really busy over the last couple of weeks, so I wasn't able to get back, but thanks for checking in and yada, yada, yada. So anyway, now I have, it's really important. The next session that I want to talk about section session. The next session, I did it again. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is giving value and how important that is when you're networking and you're actually uh, giving value to people, giving information, education, inspiration, and even entertainment. Like I like doing the filters, and I've been like when I did one filter, it let me see how I would look as a man. So when I looked at the face, it was just kind of funny because I looked like me, but a boy me. It was funny, and it was a lot of fun. So I put it on in my stories, and a lot of people got a kick out of that. But it's important to lift people up. I mean, there's so much going on today. I mean, we're still going through the stuff we were walking through before, but there's more stuff. And that's just probably how it's going to be. But we have to continue. Lips getting dry. Sorry. I'm going to drink a little water here. 1 second. Thank you. And are you getting what I've just thought about this? I haven't stopped to ask you a question about, are you getting and understanding what I'm talking about? Because all of these things packed in together are how you build your network and gives you the background of what your network is about and those types of things. Are there any questions or comments? If you have any concerns about anything that I've said, please let me know. You can always, if you don't want to do it now in the chat, you can always direct message me. So I just want to make sure that you know that, and that I am very interested in what it is that you have to say. I'm still wondering what you think about when you hear networking. I'm interested to know where you're coming in from. I'm interested in what it is that you think about some of these things that I'm saying. Are any of them helping you? I hope they are. Because what would it, and I just got to go off the side to this, but what would it be like to have a network of people who love to have you come on and do lives, love the posts that you put out and interact with them? What would it be like if you had, a few thousand people that did that? What would that feel like to you? What would that do for you in your business? So, just some questions for you to think about. For me, I had to really think about, you know, I mean, just looking into, because I see where I'm going. I don't always know exactly how I'm getting there, but I know where I'm going. I know what my dream is, and I am making goals, planning, taking action, and I'm growing and taking action that is really going to be helpful to me and those that I want to work with. So just so you know, I'm still looking for anything that you guys have. That's great, and I can answer your question here, or whatever. I can even pull you up if you put in a question, or if you say hello, then I can also pull you up and say hello, so on and so on. So let's go on. All right, we're almost done. But in the inspiring people, educating, and entertaining people, there are certain ways that you can do that using social media. And I have a list here of the things that I've done, and not everything's here, but because I don't want to make it like an all day conversation because you would leave really quick. But I just want to give you these other things that I use to share value. And one of them, and it's always at the top of my list, I think it's just because I love doing lives a lot. I love being able to share my my life, my business, my family. I love to be able to share you know my belief in God. Those I just love to be able to share me so people know exactly who they're getting and if they want to be bothered or not, and if they want to walk with me or not, if we align together or not, if we can mutually help each other or not. And so one of the things that I do, and like I said, I have it at the top of the list, is my lives. I do them 3 days a week. I was doing them 5 days a week, but I cut back to 3 days a week because it was always something, because I'm still doing certain training, still continuing to learn and grow. And but there's so much that I've learned already that I can reach back and help someone else and teach someone else, because you only need to be a step or two ahead of someone. And I like doing that through video. Now, I know everybody doesn't really like video. So I am in the process of planning out my content that I'm going to use in posts and how I'm going to do that. And then I'll evaluate that once it's done. But it's important, right? The first thing, like I said, is doing lives and sharing who I really am, and you can see that. And I have behind me. This is not really a bookcase. I just want to let you know. I want to be transparent. This is my backdrop, and it was the least expensive one, and I took it. So I like it. And but I've heard from a couple of mentors that it could be considered as busy. People are trying to see what books are on the shelf. Maybe so. But until I get another one, this is going to have to suffice. And I'm just being me, and doing what it is that I really feel comfortable doing, what I like to do, and what I feel is going to really help someone else. So you don't have to be like everyone else. Maybe everyone else doesn't have a bookcase, but I do. So anyway, now, and of course there's a lot of things to that I could tell you about lives, but I don't, like I said, I don't want to keep you here forever and ever. So I'll go on down the list and just give you a little bit more of each one of them so that you can understand them. But lives is number one. It's number one in the market share, from my understanding. It's like and Facebook, I think, is still on top. And that's the platform that I started on and that I've been on. But I have been venturing out, learning to do micro video, and actually going to be doing a boot camp with one of my mentors. And she always gives, and so she's going to have that starting next week, I believe, or the week after. I can't remember exactly, but it's going to help me to refocus on the micro video and be able to do that on TikTok or Instagram, or they may have something, I believe, as well on YouTube. So that's it for the lives. I'm sorry if you can hear my son yelling. I don't know why. Honey, would you be quiet, please? So, uh, okay, I'm sorry if you hear him. And he has headphones in, so he's not going to hear me. Hopefully, you can hear me over him. So, anyway, stories. is another way. Stories is something that's grown and grown over time, and Facebook has, where you can do these little stories, pictures of this or that, or whatever. There's lots of different ways to do stories. Some people tell stories in that, and some people do pictures. Some people show their vacation. Some people, just even show some of their business stuff on there, and that's okay, because stories only last for 24 hours and then it's gone. So it's not like it's a threat or pulling people away from the platform that you're on. And I like doing stories, I really do. But things are so much different when you're older and your kids are pretty much out, and they don't want you taking pictures of them. They don't want you talking about them, so. But I still have a few stories, so I do share those. The other thing is posts. When you're doing certain posts, you want to make sure that you vary the information that you're posting. Um, no one wants to just come to a page and just see nothing but business, 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 business. Um, People to your business page. It's important to show a little bit of you in there as well. It's important to evaluate which posts work and which posts don't. I found that a lot of people prefer to have my face as opposed to some of the other things that I found when I've been doing my posts. And it's like a quote that I really, really like. But then I may take that quote and put it on something that, and my face is below. And and um and so sorry, it's throwing me off a little. Yeah, so it's okay to do that, but you don't want to do the same thing all the time. You want to have varied information in your posts. You want to be able to, like I said, inspire, uplift people. You want to be able to have, certain quotes that mean things to you, that you think will help others as well. And you want to also use you in some of your posts. Let people know who you are. I mean, there's so many stories on this long journey that we have walking through life, that there's so much stuff to share, and let people know who you are and what you are and how you are and that kind of thing, and what your life is about, and like, I'm a disabled nurse, and it was really hard to find that out. It was really tough giving up my nursing. I love being a nurse. I really, really love being a nurse. Though the schedule was not perfect, I really loved, and it was a part of my identity. And I didn't realize it until I lost it, until I couldn't do it anymore. It really, yeah, it really was tough. And then the other things, like, I just added blogs because I like to read blogs on different things, and some of those are even when I'm doing my research for my content. I'll get, into a couple of blogs or three or however many, and reading what they have to say about this and that, and then that, along with what I've already learned, then I, write out what it is that I want in my blog. And like, ads are something that I was doing for a while. I have backed off of those because I want to be able to build my network. And that is why I chose this topic, because for me, it was like, no, 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 I don't want to do that again. I don't want to have to go out there, and because I thought it was just another word for, go pushing and prodding and telling people they got to do this and need that, and this is perfect for you, and all that kind of stuff. But it's not that. It's not that. It's what you make it. Now, hopefully, people, because I've had a lot of people that will, you know, um, you know, uh, send me a message in Messenger, and they'll say, "Hi, my name is such and such. How are you? Seems like we've got some things in common. Would you be interested in, or I have a need for 5 more people, and I think you'd be great at it." Just they don't even know me. They don't know me at all, but they're pushing stuff on me. I don't like it, so I don't like to do it to others. But yeah, so I'm networking, growing my network, and tell me now, after listening to me and my talking about all of these things, what is it, or have you figured out your network is your net worth? What does it say to you now? So from in the beginning, if you didn't know, you were just probably like, okay, whatever, and then, but as my going through the skills, the giving value, how to get started and that kind of stuff, tell me what you think. And like if you don't have time now, if you're catching us on a replay, or if you're live and you just can't answer, you can always answer me later, and that's fine. I do want to, before, because I'm pretty much done, but I have an offer that I'm going to put on this video in the comment section when it's over. And it's one of the things that I used when I first started in this education mentorship company. And I have to say education for me because I didn't have, like I said before, any background in marketing or business. And so I have learned so much. And I really like being able to help others and be able to, help those people that are like me, those people that were like me out there, trying to do this and not really having a full picture of what it was that we needed to do. So I'm going to put that book, that offer. It's the Attraction Marketing Formula ebook. I'm going to put that information on the video in the comments section so that you can check it out and take advantage of it. It gave me a blueprint. It gave me a map. It gave me a way to follow and learn that it's not just this. It's all of so much. It's so much encompassing what it is that I needed to learn. And I have gone through that book and learned and grown and continue to learn and grow, and take action. Really important. So I hope this was good for you today. I hope that you got some value from this. I hope that this will help open you up to networking, and to know that you don't have to be spammy or salesy. Just talk to people, and don't push your opportunity on them. As you're talking, then people, build that know, like, and trust. That was one thing I must have skipped over. But building know, like, and trust is when people want to join you after they've gotten to know you a little. They want to, they learn to trust you. And then, and they want to share, what you've done for them or with them, other people, and I invite other people to your lives, or to, look at this post, or they share your this and that. So those things are really important. But I will have that information on this video for you when it's downloaded in the comment section. And I will give you just a little twink that if you do it in 30 minutes, the offer is extremely invaluable. And it's just, you'll see it when you check it out on my business page. So I'm going to go on and get out of here. We've been here an hour and we've been talking about networking, and I hope that you have gotten a lot of value out of this. So I'm going to go on and get out of here. Today is Thursday. I won't be back until Tuesday as far as doing lives, but I will be on posting and encouraging and inspiring. So take care. Talk soon. Bye now.